My dear kids, today we are going to read Walt Disney's books. First book we are going to read is Pinocchio. Hello, my name is Jiminy Cricket. I never used to believe in the wishing star. Let me tell you why I changed my mind. It all started one night in a wood carver's shop. The shop was owned by a kind man named Geppetto. Geppetto had made a puppet out of wood. It looked just like a little boy. Geppetto lived with his cat, Figaro, and his fish, Callio. Just a little more paint and he's finished, Geppetto told them. He painted on a smile. Then the old man smiled too. I have just the name for you, Geppetto said to the puppet, Pinocchio. Soon Geppetto was climbing into his warm bed. Suddenly he pointed to the brightest star in the sky. Look, Figaro, it is the wishing star. Geppetto made a wish. I wish that my little Pinocchio might become a real boy, he told the cat. Geppetto fell asleep and dreamed about having a real live son. Well, I didn't fall asleep. So I saw the blue fairy fly in through the window. She waved her wand. And Pinocchio came to life. Am I a real boy? He asked. The blue fairy shook her head. If you are good, one day you will be a real boy. How will he know how to be good? I asked. You will help him, the blue fairy replied. That's how I became Pinocchio's conscience. Pinocchio was very happy. He could walk and talk just like a real boy. In fact, he made so much noise that he woke up Geppetto. The old man could hardly believe his eyes. My wish has come true, Geppetto exclaimed. He danced around the room with Pinocchio. Look, Figaro, I have a son, Geppetto cried. Geppetto loved Pinocchio as he would have loved a real boy. The next morning, Geppetto sent Pinocchio off to school. Pinocchio was very excited. He couldn't wait to learn like the real children. Two rascals saw Pinocchio walking to school. One was a sly fox named Honest John. But Honest John was not honest at all. The other was a mean cat called Gideon. Honest John exclaimed, A puppet who moves without strings? We can make a fortune out of him. Gideon agreed. The fox and the cat told Pinocchio to come with them. Honest John said, You will be the star of Stromboli's puppet show. But I have to go to school, Pinocchio replied. Actors don't need school. Come with us. We'll show you the easy road to success, the sly fox promised. So Pinocchio went with Honest John and Gideon. I spent the day looking for Pinocchio. I finally found him at Stromboli's puppet show. The show was just starting. Ladies and gentlemen, Stromboli announced, presenting the one and only puppet without strings. Pinocchio came out onto the stage. He sang a funny song. He danced with the other puppets. The crowd clapped and threw gold coins. Pinocchio was a star. I thought Pinocchio didn't need me any longer. But I was wrong. Stromboli wouldn't let Pinocchio go home to Geppetto. Instead, he locked poor Pinocchio in a cage. You are going to make lots of money for me, the greedy Stromboli told him. I saw Stromboli driving his wagon out of town, so I decided to say goodbye to Pinocchio. I found my friend in the cage. He was crying. He was sorry he hadn't gone to school, and he wanted to go home. I tried to set Pinocchio free, but I couldn't open the lock. It seemed hopeless. Then Pinocchio saw the wishing star. In a twinkle, the blue fairy appeared. She asked Pinocchio what had happened. Pinocchio told her one lie after another. With each lie, his nose grew longer and longer and longer. Tell the truth, I begged Pinocchio. Finally, he did. The blue fairy smiled. She waved her wand. Pinocchio's nose became short again, and he was free. Remember, said the blue fairy, a boy who won't be good might as well be made of wood. Meanwhile, Honest John and Gideon were in a tavern. A fat coachman was there too. He showed them a sack full of gold. The coachman told Honest John, collect some bad boys who play hooky from school, and I will give you this sack of gold. I have a couch leaving at midnight for a place called Pleasure Island. Just then Pinocchio and I were racing home to Geppetto. I ran very fast. I didn't see Honest John stop Pinocchio until it was too late. Honest John told Pinocchio all about Pleasure Island. Boys play there all day and never have to go to school, the crafty fox said. That sounds like fun, Pinocchio agreed. Soon Pinocchio and a couch full of boys were headed for Pleasure Island. I thought Pinocchio might need my help, so I jumped on the back of the couch. We rode through the starry night. Then we sailed to Pleasure Island. Pleasure Island was full of rides and sweets. The boys did whatever they wanted to do. Pinocchio made friends with a bad boy named Lampwick. Lampwick smoked cigarettes. He showed Pinocchio how to play pool. But then something terrible happened. Lampwick grew donkey ears. He grew a donkey tail. He began to bray just like a donkey. Hee-haw, hee-haw. Limp Wig turned into a donkey. Pinocchio started to laugh, but he just brayed like a donkey. Hee-haw, hee-haw. Then Pinocchio grew donkey ears and a donkey tail. He was turning into a donkey too. We've got to get off Pleasure Island before it's too late, I cried. Pinocchio and I jumped into the sea. By the time we reached the shore, Pinocchio had stopped turning into a donkey, but he still had his long ears and tails. We ran to Geppetto's shop. No one was home. Pinocchio and I didn't know what to do. Then a ladder floated down from the sky. I read the ladder aloud. Geppetto went to look for you. His ship was swallowed by Monstra the whale. We must save him, Pinocchio cried. At that moment, Geppetto, Figaro, and Callio were inside Monstra's belly. We'll starve if Monstra doesn't open his mouth soon, Geppetto said to them. Pinocchio and I went back to the shore. Pinocchio tied a rock to his tail. Then we jumped into the sea and sank to the bottom. We looked all around. A school of fish swam nearby. We finally spotted Monstra. The giant whale was sleeping. Suddenly Monstra woke up. He opened his huge mouth. Monstra swallowed all the fish. He swallowed Pinocchio and me too. Soon Pinocchio and I were in Geppetto's boat. Geppetto cried, "My son, I thought I would never see you again." Pinocchio hugged Geppetto. He promised he would never leave his father again. Then Geppetto saw Pinocchio's long ears and tail. "What happened?" he asked. Pinocchio felt ashamed. "I'll tell you later," he said. "First we need to get out of here." Pinocchio had a plan. "We need to make a fire. The smoke will make Monstra sneeze." They built a big fire. Sure enough, the huge whale opened his big mouth. "Oh, oh, choo!" We were all blown out of Monstra's mouth. Geppetto was too weak to swim. "Save yourself," he told Pinocchio. But the little wooden boy would not leave his father. Pinocchio pulled Geppetto to shore. Geppetto woke up and found Pinocchio lying in the water. Pinocchio didn't move at all. Geppetto took Pinocchio home. He put the little wooden boy on his bed. Geppetto wept. "Goodbye, my brave son. You gave your life to save me." Suddenly, a bright light shone around Pinocchio. His wooden limbs changed to real arms and legs. His eyes opened. Pinocchio was alive, and he was a real boy. Geppetto hugged Pinocchio. They danced all around the room. At last, Geppetto's wish had come true, which is just what happens when you wish upon a star. The end. 101 Dalmatians. Once there were two Dalmatians named Pango and Perdita. They lived in a snug little house in London. Their pets, Anita and Roger Radcliffe, lived with them. Nanny, the housekeeper, took care of them all. One day, Pango got some wonderful news. Perdita was going to have puppies. Everyone was very happy. At last, the big day arrived. "The puppies are here," Nanny cried. "How many?" asked Roger. "8," Nanny replied. "No," shouted Anita from the other room. 11. Wait, 15. 15 puppies? Perdita was very proud. "Pango, you old rascal," said Roger. He thought the puppies were wonderful. "They'll get their spots when they're a little bigger," Nanny told him. Suddenly there was a clap of thunder. In swept Anita's old friend, Cruella de Vil. Her long fur coat trailed behind her. "I see the puppies are here at last," she said. "I'll buy them all." "They're not for sale," replied Roger. "You'll be sorry," Cruella snapped as she stormed off. Pango and Perdita were happy to see her leave. But Cruella wasn't finished. "They can't stop me," she cackled. Cruella hired Horace and Jasper Badun to steal the puppies. "As soon as you have a chance, sneak into their house and grab those puppies," she told them. "You must wait until the puppies get their spots," she added. "But then they will be mine." Each day the puppies grew bigger, and each day they got more spots. The puppies liked watching television. The show they liked the most was about a dog named Thunderlot. "Get them, Thunderbolt," shouted Penny. "Time for bed," Pango said when the show ended. "Oh, Dad, we are not sleepy," said Lucky. After the puppies went to bed, Pango and Perdita went to the park. They took Roger and Anita with them. But as soon as they went out, Horace and Jasper went in. Jasper locked Nanny in the attic. Horace put all the puppies into a big sack. They took all 15 puppies. When Roger and Anita returned, Nanny told them what had happened. Roger called the police, but the police couldn't find the puppies. Perdita and Pango were very upset. Then Pango had an idea. "Let's try the twilight bark," he said. "It's our only hope." "All right," agreed Perdita. Pango barked in a special code. "Yep and yip and yelp, yelp, yelp. 15 puppies need your help. Calling all hounds, yippers and yappers. Please help us find their cruel kidnappers." The message was passed from dog to dog. It woke up Towser. A bloodhound who lived way out in the country. "Humph!" growled Towser to Lucy the goose. "A message from the city, an important one too. I'd better tell the folks on the farm." Old Towser's barking woke up a cat named Sergeant Tibbs. Tibbs told Captain a horse to awaken a sheepdog named Colonel. The Colonel pricked up his ears. 15 spotted poodles were stolen. "I think that's puppies, sir," said Sergeant Tibbs. Tibbs remembered hearing some barking at the old Daville place. "Nonsense! That house has been empty for years," said the Colonel. "Not any longer," Captain answered. There's smoke rising from the chimney." "Then we'd better investigate," barked the Colonel. They went to the old house. Sergeant Tibbs slipped into the house. What a surprise! He saw 99 Dalmatian puppies. 15 of them were huddled in front of the TV. "Those must be the ones," Tibbs said. He raced back to tell the others. The Colonel sent a message. Dog by dog, the message was passed from the country to the city. "Listen, Purdy," said Pungo. "It's the Great Dane. He has an answer for us." The 2 Dalmatians raced to meet the big dog. "The puppies have been found at the Daville place," the Great Dane said. "We must go at once," cried Perdita. When they got to the country, Sergeant Tibbs and the Colonel were waiting for them. "Follow us," said Sergeant Tibbs. "There is no time to waste." They sneaked into the old house. "What does Cruella want with all these puppies?" they heard Jasper ask. "She says she's going to make them into a coat," Horace answered. "A dogskin coat?" cried Perdita. "How cruel!" She counted the puppies. "Pungo," she whispered, "there are 99 puppies here." "We must take them all home with us," Pungo replied. "Let's go." Sergeant Tibbs led the way. Horace and Jasper didn't see them leave. They were too busy watching televisions. The Dalmatians followed Tibbs to the barn, but they weren't safe yet. Horace and Jasper had finally noticed the puppies were gone. They were following their tracks in the snow. "Here they come," shouted Tibbs. "We'd better do something." "We'll hold them off," Captain told Pungo. The Dalmatians escaped out the back door, and the Captain gave the Baddens a swift kick when they came through the front door. Pungo and Perdita led the puppies through a snowstorm. Suddenly, Pungo heard a car. "Quick, hide!" he urged. The dog hid under a bridge. Luckily, Horace and Jasper didn't see them. Pungo decided to walk along the frozen stream. That way, Horace and Jasper couldn't follow their tracks. Home seemed very far away. "My nose is froze," whimpered Lucky. "And my tail is froze, and my toes are froze." All the puppies were tired and hungry. Just then Pungo heard a friendly bark. "Follow me," said a collie. "I have a place for you to stay." The collie led them to a warm barn. Some friendly cows gave the puppies plenty of milk to drink. Soon 99 puppies were fast asleep in the hay. Pango and Perdita thanked the cows and the collie. "Tomorrow morning you can go to the village," said the collie. "A Labrador retriever will meet you there. He'll show you how to get home." The next morning, Pango and Perdita continued on their way. Pango knew that Cruella would be looking for them. He tried to brush away their tracks with a branch, but Cruella saw the tracks. "They're headed for the village," she shrieked. When the dogs reached the village, the Labrador was waiting for them. He led them to an empty blacksmith shop. "I've got a ride for you," he said. "A van is leaving for London soon. There's room for all of you." But Cruella and her men had reached the village too. Cruella was angry with Horace and Jasper. Find them now," she shouted. "Pango, how will we get to the van?" Perdita whispered. Just then, Lucky said, "Patch pushed me." He was covered with soot. "He pushed me first," Patch whined. He was covered with soot too. That gave Pango an idea. He rolled in the soot. "Look, I'm a Labrador. Come on, Purdy. Let's all be Labradors." Soon all the Dalmatians were covered in soot. "We're going to fool the nasty lady." The pups giggled. The van was getting ready to leave. "Better hurry," said the Labrador. One by one, the puppies get into the van. They almost made it, but the last puppy got stuck in the snow. The snow washed off the soot. "There they are!" Cruella cried. The van pulled away in the nick of time. "After them!" Cruella shouted. Cruella drove too fast for the slippery road. "Watch out!" cried Horace. But it was too late. Cruella's car tumbled down a hill. Everyone landed in the deep, soft snow. But the car was smashed to pieces. Back in London, Anita and Nanny were decorating the Christmas tree. Roger was too upset to help. "I miss Pango and Purdy so much," said Anita. "I know," answered Nanny. "Sometimes at night I think I hear them bark, but it always turns out to be a dream." "Wait!" cried Anita. "Did you hear that bark?" Nanny flung open the door. A large black dog jumped on Roger and covered him with kisses and soot. "It's Pango and Perdita with their little ones," cried Nanny. She began to dust off the puppies. And then Anita and Roger noticed the room was filled with dogs. All in all, there were 101 Dalmatians. "Whatever shall we do with them?" Anita asked. "We'll buy a big place in the country," said Roger. "A Dalmatian plantation." It was a very Merry Christmas after all. The end.